Wait, I signed up for what? Oh, hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of My Solo Chronicles. And of course, you know who this is. This is April, the one and only. Okay, I'm just gonna stop acting silly. But, anyways, welcome everyone. So, as you heard in the beginning, yes, again, for like the maybe 50th time, I've talked myself into doing something, which in the beginning I actually regretted. But then once I got into it, I said, okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna like this. I'm not gonna lose my you know what, my stuff. And trust me, leading up to this, what we're gonna call a practice, I literally was having a ton of WTF moments because it never fails. I always talk myself into something or agree to something, not really getting the full details of what exactly I just agreed to. And this is one of those times. Now, one of the schools that I work for, I'm maybe one of two newer staff members. And the librarian of the school approached me and she said in Japanese, but she said it through one of the English teachers that I work with, if I would be willing to kind of give an introduction of myself to not only to the school but the community, because there's a newsletter that goes out to the community, just explaining what's going on with as far as the school goes and introducing new people that have come into the school. So I said, yeah, no problem. I did that. I referenced a book that I actually read a little bit of before I came to Japan, which is called The History of Japan, just to kind of get familiarized with some stuff. I submitted it to her. I thought I was done and free to go on my merry way and help teach English. Well, lo and behold, never fails. This always happens to me. A couple of weeks later, I'm sitting at my desk and I'm sitting next to another teacher. I believe she may be, or sensei, as they're called here in Japan. I think she might be the teacher or the sensei that teaches music. But I'm sitting next to her, and the librarian walks in and she shows me what the newsletter is going to look like. She gave me a copy of the Japanese as well as the English newsletter. And I was really impressed. I was like, wow, people in the community are going to learn about April Sensei. And then she says present. And I'm thinking, oh, that's so adorable. She about to give me a present. She hands me two like business cards and on one of the business cards, you can actually scan the QR code to kind of go into a website. So I thought, and I just took it and I said, oh, this is so nice. And then she hands me like, it looks like a flyer. And in Yasugi, where I'm at, there's a festival that is coming up in August 14th through the 17th. And it includes fireworks and floats. And there's a theme behind this festival that happens every year. And I'm thinking, oh, she's giving me this flyer to tell me about what's coming up in August and how, she wants me to come out and see how the parade and everything is going to be, because Yasugi is not a very big community. It's very small, it's very rural. Everybody knows everybody. I can't even begin to tell you how many people I've run into that I've worked with, students, everything. So I'm thinking, oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And she says, so she's pointing at the picture, and you see in the picture, there's dancers that are in costume and they're part of the parade and they're part of one of the floats. And the name of the company that these people are a part of is called, I'm just going to say, it's NEO Yasugi-bushi, and they do traditional dance that represents the not only the festival but what the organization stands for. And I thought that was awesome. And she points to one of the people in the picture, and it's her, the librarian. And I said, wow, that's awesome. And I'm trying to tell her as best I can. Oh, that is amazing. I'm going to try to come out and I'm going to see you. And so she points at me and then she points at the flyer and she says, you. And I said, me? And she's laughing and she's shaking her head. And I said, oh, yes, yes, yes. I'm saying, hi, hi. Yeah, I'm going to come out and support you. And so the other sensei that I was sitting next to, she says, together. And she starts pointing at herself and then me and then the librarian. And I'm like, yes, we're going to all together see the parade in August, which I'm excited. Yay, excited. And she says, no, 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 together. And I'm like, yes, I know, together. I was trying to figure out what are we talking about here. So, anyways, long story short, the librarian was saying something in Japanese, and like a moron shaking my head. Yes, yes, okay, yes. And I'm giving her the thumbs up. Oh, yeah. And she says, she says, you come and see. And I was like, yes, I'm going to come and see. So I took it as though she was asking me, come to our rehearsal and we will show you what we will do in the parade. That's how I took it. Okay. Some good thing I don't get paid to think a lot because it went left real quick. So, anyways, so I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna show up. That's just how I am. I don't mind going and seeing new things because, as I said to someone previously, I open myself up to meeting new people and learning new things and seeing new things. And it's just so exciting. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to tell you about this. So I, the day comes where I'm going to go and watch, this dance troupe do their traditional Japanese dance. I've seen quite a few, especially with the students that I find absolutely amazing because there's a story behind these dances. And you want to be respectful and just take it all in, right? I get there and they instantly knew that this was April Sensei. And I'm just like, yay, this librarian done told everybody about me. Oh my gosh, I'm going to come and I'm just going to watch them and they're going to show me their traditional dance that they're going to do in the August parade. This is so amazing. So before I continue, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the parade and the reason that they have this every year. So, like I said, this parade takes place August 14th through the 17th. They have fireworks at the Yasugi port, and then there's also floats. The fireworks happen on August 9th. So, I'm definitely going to try to see that. But here's the history behind it. And I'm just reading off of just information that I was able to find. So, forgive me if some of the words I don't pronounce correctly. Hopefully, I will. Okay. It says the festival is inspired by the historical and traditional moon festival ritual and centers around the Tuski Nowa Shinto ritual, which commemorates the legend of a daughter of Katari no Amaro who was attacked by a crocodile. And it says the ritual is held over 4 days from August 14th to the 17th, with four town districts parading with floats throughout the city streets before visiting the shrine. And there's plenty of shrines around the area where I live at. And I think I've seen maybe three so far. And it says the fireworks display is scheduled for August 9th at Yasugi Port. Okay, so we got that out the way, got that information. They're all talk not no one speaks full English, which is okay because I'm good with that because you know what? We're going to be a community that learns from each other. Well, what April didn't know was that she was about to be a part of the community of dancers. I showed up to this practice with them thinking I'm about to be recruited as a dancer for the parade. I know. I can't dance regularly, let alone trying to learn a Japanese traditional dance. And the thing about it is, as they're showing me the moves, these moves are intense. And the first thing that came across my mind was when they started pulling me to like the center of the floor, we was all lining up. I'm thinking to myself, what the hell did I just agree to do? You never learn, do you, April? And that's when all the WTF moments started popping up. They were showing me moves that I was just like, y'all know I work with kids and they tire me out. These moves are going to kill me. There was, they handed me, it looks like a frisbee, but it's not a frisbee because there's a style, there's a part of the dance where you're actually using this frisbee looking thing. And I'm just like, so you want me to be coordinated too? You ever heard that saying, I can't walk, talk, and chew gum at the same time without tripping? Without, that's me. So they wanted me to do all this coordinated stuff. And I'm just like, no, I don't think this is what I agreed to do. And the other sensei that kept saying together, she was there and she said, good job. Good, 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 good. And I'm looking at her like, no, 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 no. It was the most embarrassing thing ever. And but I still I stayed in character. You know, I'm a fake it till I make it. And I'm saying there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to do this in a parade in front of like hundreds of people. I mean, I barely was doing good in front of just these small amount of peoples I was in front of. So I'm just like, okay, so you're gonna have me do this. And it was just like I couldn't say, I'm not doing this because that would be disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like the way I looked at it at this point, I would already agreed to say yes, not knowing that I actually agreed to do this. So yeah. And then they're showing me what the costumes are gonna look like. And I'm just like, wait, what? Like, hold on, hold on, hold on. This is too much. I got to take notes. The costumes, and right now in Japan, the heat has been ridiculous. So, can you imagine me? And I sweat a lot. I get hot. Me and heat don't, we just don't work good together. So, you want me to not only be dancing at this fast pace, but you also want me to be in this costume and I'm going to be sweating. This is why I always say to myself, you need to really learn Japanese so that you don't get yourself into stuff that you can't get yourself out of. And this is one of those situations. But before we even begin to do like the different moves, um, I really quick went up on my phone again and was just like, okay, wait a minute. What the hell am I doing here? Let me find out why we doing this. And I had to end up using Google Translate because it was just like, I need y'all to explain to me what I'm doing because me just watching and then trying to do it is not going to be beneficial for me or you. And this whole entire dancing troupe is just going to be, we're going to look like dancing clowns pretty much. But their slogan is broadcasting, it's called Yasugi-bushi to the world, and its focus is to pass on the charm of Yasugi Bushi to the future and having young people as well as foreigners enjoy not only the dance but also the music that goes along with the dance. And it was just like they would show me like little clips on YouTube and then they would show me in person what they were doing and then I would kind of imitate that as best I could. And somebody said, one of the people were like, good sport. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm a good sport, all right. Hey, if you're willing to share your tradition with me, I am willing to. At this point, I have no choice but to accept it. Challenge accepted. And even though I walked in, thinking I was actually just going to watch them practice and then being pulled in and being nervous, that nervousness and that fearfulness actually gradually went away as I was starting to really learn the different dance moves. And I also found out that I actually was recruited. So at the school, when the librarian asked, when she was talking about this, she was actually asking me or telling me that she wants to recruit me for this. And that, and I guess they every year as it gets closer to the parade, they start sending out flyers to recruit dancers because I mean, anybody can volunteer and be a part of this because, like I said, it's going to be part of the festival that's coming up in August. So after my nerves and everything went away, I actually enjoyed myself. It was really fun. I met some really great people. They were just so amazing and just so patient with me and my two left feet because I was all over the place. So I told them that I would possibly come back, but at this point, I already gave my word, so I'm gonna have to return, and I'm probably gonna be in the float. I mean, in the parade as a dancing clown. It's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be fantastic. Yeah, I'm probably gonna end up on somebody's YouTube channel or in a TikTok because it's going to be hilarious. But if you ever get a chance, I just want to say if you want to check out what the dances were that I'm going to have to get coordinated with, oh, this is going to be great. You can always go up on YouTube because that's when I got home, I actually went up on YouTube again and I was able to see the video that's up. And when you see it, you're it's so intense. It is mad crazy intense. And I'm just like, what is going on? Now, I did participate in a traditional Japanese dance at one of the nursery schools. And I actually picked up that traditional dance really quick. So I'm hoping before August, 14th, I can really, really get the routine down. I'm gonna say probably not, but you know what? We're gonna live the dream and we're gonna have fun. That's what we're gonna do. But anyways, if you want to see what the dance looks like, I say go up on YouTube and all you gotta do is type in capital in all caps NEO and then you want to type in Yasugi Bushi and Yasugi is spelled YASUGI dash BUSHI and you will see a video of what they were attempting to try to show me and teach me to do. Yep, that is it. I told you this was going to be a quick brief episode. I But you know what? The fun thing about being in a new country, in a new place, is that you have to go out here and you have to just discover what's out there instead of just sitting home and just relaxing and not really putting yourself out there. I was hesitant at first, but like I said, at the end, I really, really had fun. I really did. I really had fun. And that's the whole point of doing and discovering stuff is to have fun and meet new people while you're having that fun. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. And like I always say, my moonbeams, have a great rest of the day. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.